because the Norwegian, well, he has some surface intelligence. He's not really a character of depth as pertains to the fact that he has no ethical compass or any kind of real depth. So,
Well, the Norwegian is someone who would probably be a stylist. He thinks more of himself than he really is. He's certainly intelligent in terms of knowing facts. He's certainly clever in getting away with things, but he's not. This is not the Norwegian that we see a decade later in the Vincetti brothers. This is the Norwegian coming into his own, and we find out, just to talk about real life thing, one of the most famous murders of all time was the murder of Alberto Anastasia, the head of Murder Inc., in a barber chair in 1957, I believe, or 58, 59, something like that. And we find out in this book that the real killer is the Norwegian, and that's the thing that made his name. And we later find out, because I have one of the trailers is called Higher Powers, and one of the things that we find out is there are people above the mafia and foundation level in terms of powers, and that's like FBI Director Hoover, Howard Hughes, Carlo Gambino, and one other person I forget the. But so I'm setting up in here that there are powers beyond this underworld here, and we see that later in my book, The Super Seven. And oh yeah, and George Bush's grandfather, Prescott Bush, is the fourth of the higher powers, the head of the DAS, Department of American Security, which I introduce here and expand upon later. And when I do my science fiction books set hundreds of years in the future, we're going to see all of these strands coming together. We're also going to see strands of, for example, the Mule and the Foundation going back into my con books, when I do my great con books. So I'm really creating an alternate world universe here, and these are major parts of it. But anyway, yeah. So these little things like the real life murder of Albert Anastasia, uh, I give reasons for.